Okay, so my name's Pete Wilkinson. I'm a director of Paint Tech Training Academy. We do training for decorators. We have a whole suite of short courses, mostly 2-day courses in a wide range of skills. And one of the things I've always believed is if you want to earn more money, you can do it by specialising in a certain area of decorating. And that's what I'm going to talk about this afternoon. So a little bit about me. I have been a decorator for 40 years. So I've been in the trade all my life, and I'm nearly 60, believe it or not. I spent a large part of that teaching at my local college, so I've taught apprentices for about 27 years. So I've got quite a lot of decorating knowledge, and I've got quite a lot of teaching knowledge as well. About 8 years ago, I decided I'd had enough at college. God knows why. I thought I'd go back on tools. And I decided 2 things. I wanted to earn more money than I earned at college. And I earned good money at college because I was in charge. So to do that, I decided I had to specialise. Now, I taught paint and decorating, so I can paint, I can cut in, I can actually sign write. I was a sign writer at my original firm when I was 16. I can wallpaper, I can grain and marble, I can spray. So I've got quite a lot of skills. But I decided to just pick one. And the one I chose was airless spraying. And I'm not going to talk about spraying today, I'm going to talk about other things, but it just gives you like a bit about my background. And I decided I'd get a business card printed, Pete Wilkinson, airless spraying specialist on it. Nobody knew what that was, which was great. And I started taking on work that was spraying and turning away work that wasn't. And what happened was, it took a while. It didn't happen overnight. It took about 3 years actually. The jobs got bigger and more lucrative as time went on. To the point on the last job I worked on, I was earning really, really good money. And I basically had infinite work if I wanted it. There was infinite work. I'm still in contact with the people I work with and they've still got infinite work. So it was a good result. What's happened in that time is the training academies got busier and I'm spending more and more time doing that, and I really enjoy doing the contracting work, believe it or not, but I don't have time to do it anymore. So I'm full time with the academy and that's what I do. So why is it a good idea to specialise? There's a few reasons. First of all, if you just look at painting, just emulsioning, glossing, basic painting, it's the easiest thing that we do in our trade. So it's what most people put to market. So consequently, it's a more competitive marketplace. If then you take something like wallpapering, less people offer wallpapering to customers because less people are confident at doing it. So because of that, you can charge more. So you can charge more, it makes you a little bit different to everyone else. There's a little bit less competition in your specialism. And finally, because you're doing it all the time, you get good at it, slicker, faster, better than the competition. And it gets to the stage where you would look at a wallpapering job, for example, and you know that you're the best in the area. And the customer picks up on that and they want you, and that's a good place to be. I've talked to quite a few decorators about this because it's one of my things, but I don't mind if people disagree with me. I quite like hearing opposing views. And what some guys say to me is, look Pete, I don't want to specialise because it's more interesting. I do a little bit of painting, I do a bit of wallpapering, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It keeps my life interesting. If I was just wallpapering every day, I wouldn't like it. And I get that, that's fair enough. But you'll not make as much money. So if an interesting work life is your thing, that's fine. If you want to actually make more money, because really that is why we're working, let's face it, specialise, make more money, do your interesting stuff at the weekend. That's my thinking. The other thing as well, I think, with this is, and again, I'm using wallpaper as an example. I'm actually quite good at wallpapering, but I don't really enjoy it, if I'm honest. I'm a bit of a bish bash bosh decorator, really, so I like spraying. So, but if I did wallpaper every day, and I'd get really, really good at it, I'd enjoy it more and more, because it'd be easier, I'd be good at it. So, sometimes, if you do something the odd time, you don't really enjoy it because you're a bit shit at it, really, because you don't do it very often. You're not confident with it, it scares you. Can't walk in front of the speaker. Okay. So let's talk about wallpapering. So I'm not selling wallpapering, by the way. I don't care whether you specialise in wallpapering or not. It's just an example to illustrate how specialising can work. Now, I've talked to a lot of decorators about this, and most decorators charge between £25 and £40 per roll to put wallpaper on. Okay? What do we think about that? Do we think 40 is high, low, average? What do we think? £40 a roll. Don't all shout at once. High, low, average. Nobody's saying anything. Think high, low. Okay, so it's interesting this, because I've chatted to people that charge £25 a roll. It's not enough, guys. I've chatted to people that charge £40 a roll. I've chatted to people that charge more than that. It doesn't matter. That is the average. I've talked to a lot of decorators, thousands. So, if we break that down into metre squared, just as a number, £25 a roll is £5 a metre, and £40 a roll is £8 a metre. Okay, £8 a metre. So we'll just remember that, we'll come back to it in a minute. How many rolls could we put on in a day? Do we think? 4? 7? Yeah, that's probably good. We always used to say 8. A roll an hour is like the rule of thumb. Some jobs it'd be 10, some jobs it'd be 6. It depends on the job, obviously. And that's the reason some decorators don't charge per roll. They just do a price for the job, which is fine, not a problem. I'm using the per roll thing, you'll see why in a minute. So basically, if you're a reasonably good paper hanger and you're charging £40 a roll, you're going to be making £200 to £300 a day, which I actually think is quite good. Okay? If you're doing it consistently, day in, day out. And you could do it consistently, day in, day out. Because wallpaper is sort of coming back, more people want it. Okay. So the next thing I want to chat about, and this is related, my training academy at Preston, I share it with Paul Feather. And I've known Paul many, many years. And Paul does something called a one-piece mural. And what it is, he's not paying me for this, by the way, it's just a good illustration. What it is, he prints wallpaper and he can do any size, any image with no joints. He prints it, and I'll wait.
The demonstration for the chip rock to take place, and look at the new ready-mix roller by Wilkinson. That's chip rock, new ready-mix roller by full coverage demonstration, yet one.
Okay, so microphone, 2 microphones.
One Can's innovative technology. That's in Theatre 2. And there's that personal insurance.
Okay, so the reason I'm using murals as an example is it's just like one step on from the wallpapering. And now what Paul does is he prints it and sells it, and he also installs it because he likes paper hanging, bless him. But when he does his installs, he charges £15 a square metre. Now that's not a lot. He's actually been told he's too cheap. He does quite a bit of work for schools, and one of the headmasters said that the last contractor were charging £20 a square metre. So at 15, he's actually quite cheap. But of course, £15 a metre is double our £8 a metre that we're charging for wallpaper at £40 a roll. So it's good money, isn't it? So all of a sudden, when he's wallpapering, he might be earning £200 to £300 a day. Now he's earning £600 a day with his murals. Okay. So again, it's a specialism, and he is specialised. He doesn't call himself a decorator anymore, even though he is a decorator. He calls himself a mural installer, and he has a mural installer outfit, and he has it on his thing. And people don't know what mural installers charge. They just want one because they're cool. And one of the things he does, and people don't know about this, so there's nobody in the country doing it apart from him, he can actually print patterns now. So you can get a customer and they want a feature wall doing, and let's say it's 4 rolls. And they've decided that they're going to spend £150 a roll, because that's what people are doing these days, sitting on Instagram. So £600 they're prepared to pay for materials, but it's going to have seams. And no matter how good you are as a decorator, you can see them. So Paul comes along, he can have a bespoke image that her mate Julie's not got, and he puts it on and there's no seams. It's just one piece. That is amazing. People want it. And here's the thing, you can put murals on twice as fast as he can wallpaper. So if he can put 6 rolls of wallpaper on, he can put the equivalent of 12 rolls on when he's doing murals, because it's a faster process. It's quicker. He goes twice as fast and earns twice as much per metre. So I'll let you do the maths, because I wrote a book about this called The Specialist Decorator, and I did a chapter on murals, and I went to see Paul in his office and I asked him loads of questions. What do you charge for this? How much is this? How long does this take? Well, loads of questions. And I went back to my office and did the maths, because I do that a lot. And the numbers that were looking back at me were big. So I thought, that can't be right. So I went back to him and I went, hang on a minute. So I've just done the maths on your numbers, and that means you're earning this much. And he just smiled. And I thought, oh my God, that is amazing. So there you go. It's a good illustration of an area that you can specialise in and earn good money. Now, why am I talking about all this? Because Paul's not paying me to sell his murals. I'm talking about it because we do courses in specialist areas. We do spraying courses, we do airless courses, we do wallpapering courses, a whole suite of wallpapering courses. We do mural courses, we do an advanced mural course, we do Venetian plaster courses, we do resin worktop courses. So you can come, spend 2 days with us and explore a speciality, and we know what the market's like, how much people are charging, so you go away with a niche if you want to explore it. Another area that a lot of decorators are moving into are kitchen respray. So people have realised, so this has been going on in States for years and years and years, but we've just cottoned onto it. We're a bit like that, we're a bit slow on the uptake in this country. So what people have realised is, if they want a new kitchen, it's going to cost them maybe 15 to 20 grand, but if they get it resprayed, it looks like brand new, but it only costs 4 grand. So it's a good area for painters to move into, because we used to paint, if you already spray, we're used to spraying. And what happens is, it's a bit of a weird thing, and this is a true story. So I was chatting to a decorator, and he said he went to price a job up, and the lady wanted her hallway landing and stairs doing, and she also wanted a kitchen respraying, and he could do both. So he gave her a price for the hallway landing and stairs, 1,800 quid, and he gave her a price for the kitchen, 4 grand. She said the hallway landing and stairs was expensive, but she was happy with the kitchen price. Fathom that out. True story. And the reason for that is, it's the perceived value of the kitchen respray is 15 grand. So that's what they're judging it against. So that's a good market to be in. And also, if you want, and I know a lot of guys that do this, you're a kitchen refinisher. So they don't know what kitchen refinishers make, they don't know what they charge, they've got no handle on you. And they don't really understand the process, they certainly can't do it themselves. So it's a really strong position when you're putting your price in. You can make good money without anybody moaning about it. So what we've done, I've not done this, I can't take credit for this information. My business partner Ian's put it together, done a bit of research with other decorators. And what he's done is he's converted it from meterage, which is what I always talk about, to day rate, which is what most people can understand. And he's just done a sort of typical day rate that you would earn doing various specialisms. Now, I've looked at these numbers and I do not think they're exaggerated. I think they're quite just average. I don't think they're high, I don't think they're low, I think they're about average. And I look through the list and I know people that do various aspects of this. So I know people that paper hang and they make £300 a day, that's what they make. I know people that spray UPVC, they make more than 335 a day, definitely. I know people that do one-piece murals and they make more than 450 a day, definitely. But obviously, we've tried to keep it real. We've talked to a few decorators to get average prices. So it just gives you an idea of each specialism and what kind of money you can make. So just to give you something to think about.